In this video we will show you how to create a new network. Networks can be used when you want to host multiple independent payment systems in one Cyclos installation. In fact, we use networks in our community version. In this way we can offer free payment systems to communities. First we have to go to our Cyclos installation. In this case I'm running Cyclos on my local host, so this is the address. Next, we have to log in. We can only manage networks when we are a multi-network administrator or when we are the global administrator. In this case I will log in as the global administrator. Make sure no network is selected here. Then go to System Management and Networks. Then you see all the networks that are available in the system. By using the switch to icon you can quickly go to the network. But in this video, we will create a new network. You have two options. You can create an empty network or you can use the wizard to create a basic network. For now, let's select the first option and create an empty network. This means, we will start from scratch. Let's give the network the following name, My New Network. The internal name cannot contain any strange characters or spaces because it's used for the web services. As a default, the network is set to enabled, so people can access the network. When it's not set to enabled, nobody can log into the network and cannot do anything with it. This network can also be set to be the default network of this Cyclos installation. When it's the default network, it will appear when you go to the URL of the Cyclos installation. When the box is ticked, this network will show when you go to localhost, port 1234. In our case, we need to supply the root path to the URL, and use localhost, 1234/mynewNetwork. This root path can be changed in the configuration. We will come to that in another video. As a parent configuration we will use the global default. So this network will be based on this configuration and also the global administrators can manage this network. It's also possible for other multi-network administrators to manage this network, but they are not here in this current installation. Okay, so we can save the network now and we can use the switch network to switch to the network, or we can switch to the network by clicking on the switch button in a network list here. Now we're in a network and we can start configuring the network. You may be wondering what happens when we use the wizard. Well, let's give it a try and create a network again. The wizard will lead you through a number of steps and will not only create a network but also configures a complete basic payment system. The first step is to give the network a name. The internal name will be the URL path through which the network will be accessible. You can change this later. The next step is to decide whether you want to use the default localization defined in the global configuration or change language and time zone. Ticking the box will reveal the available options. In our case, we'll leave them unchanged. Step 3 is creating a network administrator. He or she can only log into its own network. We recommend creating a dedicated network administrator for each network. You can add more administrators and administrator groups later. Now, we have to specify a currency name and symbol to be used in our payment system. In our case, we'll name it Circular Coin, abbreviated as Circo. The symbol will be CI, and it will be placed after the amount. Step 5 is about the system accounts. In our case, we will create Circos by debiting the debit account and crediting the user account. We can change the names, if we like. Step 6, User Accounts. We can change the name or leave it like it is. We can set a negative balance limit and an initial credit. In case of an initial credit, the wizard will create not only the user account type, but also a transaction type to transfer the initial credit from the system debit account to the user account, when created. Next, we can specify whether we want to make use of brokers within our network. Brokers are a kind of agents who can open an account for other users. But, we will add them later. We arrived at step 8. In this step, we can select some additional profile fields. These profile fields will be included in the registration form for new users. Let's just select them all. The next step is about users getting the possibility to give feedback to another user. The feedback can either be a general reference about the user, or feedback on a specific payment. These options are often used in combination with having a marketplace. Next, we can enable records for remarks and for the help desk log. This way, we can, for example, create a help desk ticket system. Users can send messages to administrators. In step 11, we can define message categories. Most common are the 3 categories that already have been defined, but you can delete them and add other categories instead. The last step. This is about advertisements. Cyclos has a marketplace built in. Ticking the first box will create a default set of advertisement categories like food, goods, services, etc. The next 2 tick boxes define fields in the advertisement itself, as explained in the text on screen. The 12 steps have been saved in memory, so far. If you want to change anything, this is a good moment to go back and modify a step. If everything is okay, then comes the moment we have been waiting for. Press Finish. After a while, the new network is created and we can switch to the new network and start configuring in more detail. Obviously, using the wizard gives you a head start in configuring your payment system. You can have a network up and running, in a short time and with little effort. That's why we recommend using the wizard. However, it's very tempting to start creating users and performing payments, without having a proper design. But, when payments have been done, changing things will be very difficult. So, a thorough design will save you a lot of hassle afterwards. In the next videos, we will cover all concepts of Cyclos in more detail.